It's playtime with the Sleepy Boys.
Hey guys, this is Mark with Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys. Joining me as always is my co-host Brandon.
Hello.
And this past Friday we received some shocking and frankly very heart-wrenching news. And that was that Chadwick Boseman, the star of the Black Panther movie and the up-and-coming star in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, passed away due to colon cancer. And as much as we wanted to jump on this sooner, there were circumstances beyond our control keeping us from getting into the recording booth and getting everything that we wanted to say out. So today is where we're going to do it.
Yeah, I was sitting. I don't know about you, but when I found out, I was sitting with Jasmine and watching Lucifer, and Aaron came out of his room and was just like, Aaron will do this pretty frequently. He just kind of pops out of his room, just says something, and then immediately like retreats to his room, just like drops just bombshells left and right all the time. I'm just like, okay, I don't know how to deal with these. This one was definitely no different. Like he just came out and he goes, like, we're just in the middle, and he doesn't even let me pause or anything. He just goes, hey, Chadwick Boseman died, and then just left. And I was like, I don't know how to. I literally just had no words, or like my brain, essentially it felt like the bike chain popped off my brain, and the wheels are still spinning and the bike's still going, but there's no motor running it anymore. And so I was just like, I literally I didn't say anything for like an hour. Like we watched two more episodes of Lucifer, and then I finally was like just was starting to, like, reality was like, I just felt numb, just like didn't even know how to process it. And I was just like, I don't, is that something like how an immediate, like, as once I was able to like process it, and I started looking up and looking into it and everything, and that's when I found out, I mean, like most people, about the colon cancer. I mean, he did not tell anybody. This wasn't a thing that was public knowledge. He kept it to himself and within his family.
Right, and that's one of the things, like, he was filming everything. Like, he was doing shit while he had colon cancer. And, like, I remember there was a point where a lot of people were giving him harsh criticism for, like, some weight loss that he did or that happened during the filming of one of his movies. And
it happened recently.
Right.
He posted up a video or something that he was doing, like a little live stream. And, I mean, he looks gaunt. I mean, he lost a lot of weight, and people didn't know. And so people were cracking jokes. And I mean, I personally, when I first saw pictures of what he looked like, I was like, man, he's going full method for whatever he's doing next.
Right.
He's pulling like I was thinking
he's pulling a Christian Bale in The
Machinist.
Yeah, the Machinist. And like you, I was blown away because you're the one that told me. I was at the arcade with my niece and nephews, and I remember I just finished, the big Jurassic Park like ride that you sit inside and you're shooting all the dinosaurs. I was doing that. My phone goes off, and as soon as I died, I look at my phone. I'm like, holy shit, what? And I told my nephews, and they were both like, well, and I love these kids to death. They don't really fully grasp the concept of what death means, and they're like, well, what are they going to do for Black Panther 2? And I'm like, I don't think that's the issue right now. Like, my man has died. An actor, yes, but still, a person has died. And not just, like, a person in general, but, like, a very influential, African-American actor has died.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, And I don't say that because like, oh yeah, he was Black Panther. I mean, like, he showed kids all around the world that black people could play superheroes in film, and not only play the superhero, but be the lead superhero in their own film. Like, sure, Blade had his movie back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, but that wasn't something that kids could see.
Yeah, that wasn't aimed at, I mean, that was aimed at adult, young adult and adult comic book fans, while everything in the MCU has been directly aimed at these are movies for fans, but they're also movies for families.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, we're living in an age where there are superhero movies that, I mean, even the heavy hitting ones like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff, you know, they're heavy hitting, but they're still family directed.
Absolutely.
You know, all inclusive kind of audiences.
And
the thing was, for so long with these quote unquote inclusive movies, I mean, it was predominantly, it was mostly white. And then, I mean, you know, just what Chadwick did with the Black Panther. I mean, I don't want to just put it on Chadwick, because I mean, the entire cast, and I mean, they're just so, you know, costume designers and the filmmakers for Black Panther, I mean, really are, you know, the ones who did it all. But Chadwick was the one that took the mantle and was the Black Panther. And to do what he did with that character, and then to be the kind of comic movie cultural revolution that we desperately needed, I mean, it's not the thing that
that's a lot to put on someone's shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the same kind of, I mean, it's a monumental task. And the thing that the fact that he was in between chemo treatments while filming that movie is insane to me.
Well, and not just that, but you have to, like, if you watch interactions between him and the fans, he was still such a humble person. Mm-hmm. Like, he wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm Black Panther. Like, he didn't go full Wesley Snipes when he got like really popular. Like, he was still like he would go to like events and see people. Like, I remember watching one, I don't remember if it was, he made an appearance on a talk show at one point, and they had this like big movie poster of when Black Panther first came out.
Yeah, this was on Jimmy Fallon.
One of the Jimmys, yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
And he would just surprise fans by popping out from behind a curtain and take a bunch of pictures of them. And I'm like, that's the kind of things that like you need when you're a cultural icon. And he did it so well. He had so much charisma. He had so much like just personality, and he crushed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, whoa, let's just...
And like, this isn't like this one isn't even just like we lost a great actor. Like, we lost a genuinely good person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, this is
while he was going through chemo and battling his own cancer. He was going to children's hospitals where they were battling cancer.
Right. And a lot of people just thought that, oh, he's a good person, he's going to visit people with cancer. He was going to show support to people that he could he related with these kids. Like, he
absolutely
knew exactly,
and once again
what they were going through. And
once again, he wasn't flaunting like, oh, I'm like, you know, he was going there and visiting these kids who had cancer while he's battling cancer, and he didn't say anything about having cancer, like, at all.
Right. I mean, and like, and as much as I don't want to, I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody. I want to make that very clear here. But like, there's a lot of actors who make their own personal problems like the world's, like, they make it about themselves. Like,
well, sure. I mean, but that's kind of the sickness that is celebrity.
right, and that's one of the things I respect the most about Chadwick Boseman. As much as much as I hate the fact that he's gone, I found I was very eager to see where he was going in the world. But the fact that he wasn't like making this big, like I'm sure it was a big deal personally and to his family, but he wasn't making his Hollywood life about that. He wasn't He wasn't making that the forefront of himself.
I mean, every film that he did, I mean, he played Jackie Robinson, and he played James Brown. I mean, those two people are like titans of like American history, and I mean, almost to like a mythological standpoint almost.
Right.
I mean,
and that's the thing is when he was playing the roles that he played, he gave his everything.
Right.
Like he wasn't one of those, he wasn't an actor that just, clocked in and clocked out. He was the characters he was playing.
Yeah.
And
I love that he has a quote that I absolutely love. I'm gonna paraphrase it because I can't remember exactly what it was, but pretty much that he was saying that he wanted to put everything he had in every role that he did, because when he died, he wanted to stand before God and say, I had nothing left to give.
That hits a lot harder right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She's a synth.
And like there are very few actors that I can honestly say like I would have loved to have met in person, and we've talked about this before, but Chadwick Boseman is definitely one of the actors I would have loved to meet most, just in general, let alone from the MCU.
Oh, absolutely. I had so much. I mean, it's easy to look at like Robert Downey Jr. and like, oh man, he's totally Tony Stark. And then Chris Evans, of course, is, absolutely Captain America.
I don't know. I still see him as the Human Torch, but yes.
I mean, that's also fair. I still see him as the jock from Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
We were frozen.
But,
No
memories.
The thing with Chadwick is, I mean, he was just such a perfect iteration of what T'Challa was, and kind
absolutely.
Thank you.
It's just one of those. I'm so happy that we got him for what we did, and that we have like these movies that we can go back and watch. But it still kills me that like it's just that thing that, man, like we're not gonna have this again. Not from him. There's already people talking about what Black Panther 2 should be, and I'm just like, I understand that we get into these conversations, like, like what we want to see and stuff. I'm just like, can we just kind of leave that up to filmmakers for a while, what they want to do? Can we just kind of, as like a community, can we just kind of bask in what he left us for a little bit before we start talking?
I know, and that's one thing that pisses me off so much was, so after you text me and were like, hey, Chadwick Boseman died, like, I'm talking, this was like 45 minutes after the news came out. Like, it was not long after. I Googled it to see what had happened, and like underneath like Chadwick Boseman dies at 43, there was, I think it was Screen Rant, comicbookreader.com, and like 2 other websites already had blog posts. What's the MCU going to do with Black Panther 2 now that Chadwick's dead? And I'm like,
right, immediately.
I'm like, you've got to be fucking with me.
Within like 45 minutes to an hour and a half or something like that, they were like already like, what is the MCU going to look like? And I'm just like, oh my God, can we not? Can we just not?
There's really no easy way to wrap this up, guys. We've spent a long time thinking about the right way to end a podcast episode with such a serious topic, but there really isn't one. There really is no way to properly show the gratitude that we have to Chadwick Boseman. Like I said, he inspired African American children all over, not only in America, but just in the world in general. Black kids all around the world have now this superhero they can look up to. But
they have, it's, because we haven't had a live action Miles Morales yet. So essentially Black Panther are these children and these young adults Spider-Man. I mean,
Exactly.
That's what he represented to so many people who did not have a superhero that they could identify with.
I'm a detective.
And yeah, it's just
Look,
it's
Mom and Dad, I mean, those people,
it's just one of those really, I mean, it's gonna be rough for a while, and
I've thought about that.
it's certainly one of those, this is one of those losses that it's gonna affect me for a while. And I mean, honestly, the best way to in my opinion, to show gratitude to Chadwick Boseman and what he did would definitely be, I mean,
yes,
the fact that we're as advanced of a culture as we are, and we are still dealing with cancer, and research is just not where it should be, even though there are people's jobs who are completely dedicated to it. A lot of times the funding just isn't there. So I'd say really go at support, cancer foundations, specifically. I mean, you can even specifically go for ones that are dedicated to trying to help colon cancers, and that's what I would do.
Right.
That's what I do plan to do, and I'll have to look up some cancer foundations.
Absolutely, and we'll share some things on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our Twitter. Y'all know where to find us, SR Sleepy Boys. And just continue to support, just people in general, man. At this point,
support good people, support good actors, support, people who are, it's real easy for us to get wrapped up in the idea of celebrity. They're celebrities and musicians that I love, but are they good people? Oh, that's debatable.
Excuse
but
me.
I like what they do. But when some a true good-hearted person comes
After a welcome
along,
this warm,
This place is
someone like Chadwick Boseman, I mean, just
if there's a sin,
just support them, because I mean, now granted, good celebrity, it's hard to judge somebody that you don't say good or bad celebrity, you just don't know. But as far as what they show the public, you could tell Chadwick was a good-hearted person. So I mean, support those people, don't take them for granted.
So you're that new guy.
and hug your family today.
Yeah, straight up.
You'd never know anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. If there's anything that we've learned from the past couple months, is life is short and life is fleeting, and it is not fair. You learn some things in this life. You grow to be better than you were the day before. And as long as you're growing and being a better person, make the most out of the life you have and appreciate those around you.
That's absolutely right. And one final thought for you guys is don't focus on what the MCU is going to do now that Chadwick Boseman's gone. We'll get there when we get there.
MCU is going to be the MCU. That's
they'll honor the man that he was.
They're not going to disrespect him.
Absolutely.